document open just really quick so I
Alright, and
can.
I'm gonna go do my intro real quick.
You have a name.
Okay. I am never prepared to pull up my intro sheet. That's gonna become like a thing. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. I'm your host, Davin Dave or Daddy. Don't call me that last one though, seriously. My partner will beat your ass. Anyways, today is going to be really interesting. We are going to be doing the first creature type character in the entire game. This is my friend Jasper. He hosts the Enchanted Forest. It's really cool. You should go check him out. Let's see where this goes, because I'm not really certain of where to take his character or how far his character should go. So, thanks for having me. Thanks for joining me, and do me a favor, leave a like and subscribe if you want. Go ahead and leave a comment. I don't really care. I'm glad to have y'all, and yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, bitches. Or, losers, I'm back.
You do a little intro.
Yeah, I like my intro.
What's your intro?
Really? You want to know my intro?
Evan?
Do I really gotta do it?
Yep.
Alright, fine. I'll just give you like a brief. It's simply, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. I'm your host, Davin Dave or Daddy. Don't call me that last one though, and then I just proceed to give a basic rundown on what might or might not happen today and how I think the session's gonna go.
Copycat.
Huh?
Copycat.
Yeah. Topic. Alright, I'm gonna reduce your character's pixel size, so the map is actually bigger.
Okay.
Okay, so, for the people at home, if you don't know, Jasper, give actually a rundown on your character, since I don't wanna do it.
Okay. My character is a Wendigo, and Davin here has decided that since a Wendigo would be too overpowered, he has split them up into 3 different classes based off of their abilities, which is a Brute, a Shrieker, and a Warper. A Warper can teleport places, a Brute is just really strong, and a Shrieker is the manipulator that you can hear. And yeah, my character became a Wendigo 248, not 40, 254, I think, years ago. And he killed his friend somewhere in North Dakota in order to survive. Correcting my grammar, Kevin?
Yes. And, okay. Let's do it. So, Jasper. Oh, crap, I don't even have... So, Jasper, you are in, let me just give you a breakdown of, the area that you're in. You are in a very dark type forest area where encounters are very heavy and very high. You're going to be facing off a lot of your own kind and very dangerous foes while you're at it.
Okay.
What do you say?
Well, I need to get out of here as soon as I said all right. I need to get out of here as soon as possible.
This is considered your territory, but of course you do have challengers and you have others that live in your territory.
Yeah. My character does not speak, by the way.
Yes, I know that.
Alright. Let's start things off.
Okay, you do start off by recognizing that it's night, coming out from your own little pocket dimension, and then into this dark, or very large dark forest, as your eyes can see everything as gray and red. red is obviously for biological functions, organic matter, and stuff like that. So you see that trees around you and whatnot are actually red. People are red. Everything like that.
I want to walk down south on my all fours.
On your what?
All fours.
As you're walking on all fours down south, you can. It's such an involuntary sound. You can kind of just hear yourself snarling just a little bit.
I wonder what I'm hunting. As I continue to walk down south. Give me one.
Alright, take your time. So of course creature type characters are going to be really interesting to play because there's not a lot of roleplay that comes with them, but there's a lot more challenge and technique and strategy that comes with fighting and playing a creature character. Because you can't act human, otherwise that's breaking character and there's really big consequence for it. Morgan, you still here? Morgan?
Yeah.
What's up?
I return! Oh.
Now, of course, Jasper, I think that your biggest challenge will be trying to find enemies through trees and whatnot. Due to the fact that you are a Wendigo, and that you see this red for biological and this, gray for non, enemies can obviously blend into trees and whatnot. There's no differentiation between biological and non.
Okay.
So you're going to be relying, obviously, on your brute strength and your skill and power and whatnot.
I continue walking south, and I notice how gigantic these trees are.
As you notice how massive these trees are, you do notice that from your character, you have marked your territory by rubbing your skull up against the trees and actually digging into them with your claws. And you even took a piss on some of the trees too.
Alright. I don't exactly want to look around. Because that could be bad. It's very, very bad.
Be prepared for an encounter. Your character's intuition? Natural intuition.
Natural?
6.
It would be 6.
Yeah, so you can tell that this is going to be a rather bad encounter.
Crap.
As you see this thing in front of you.
Is that a wendigo? Yeah, that's not a wendigo. I wonder if it's a brute.
It is not a brute. Due to your past of being 254 years old, you can tell that this thing is something called a splitter. A wendigo splitter.
Oh.
They're very quick and very, very, they're sharp. Their tails are extremely sharp because they cut through trees and through people effortlessly. They're extremely fast and they work by jumping in trees, but they're, as you can see by their skin and their very exposed heart, they're very brittle.
Do we have some sort of language that we can communicate inside of the wendigos? Like, I don't know.
No.
Alright.
You can't tell that
Can I
this.
tell if there's any way to diffuse this situation? That's my intuition.
You can tell
That wants to work.
that this thing is strictly here to challenge you for your territory. It is there to kill you or be killed. As it whips its tail against the ground in a very, almost like it creates a boom in the air as it whips it at like a sonic speed and creates a small mark in the ground. As you recognize, that is how splitters actually mark their territory, due to your experience as a wendigo.
As I would look this thing dead in its eyes.
Okay.
Did my learning curve, what do I learn about this thing?
Okay. So as you see this thing and recognize it as a splitter, you can tell that these bones right here aren't completely attached to the tail, as they are used to eject from the tail.
Interesting. As I look this thing dead in the eye, and I make an attempt to activate Trip to Trip. And my strength is a d20 plus a d20 plus
I know.
2.
So as you do not activate Trip to Trip.
What?
And also a Trip to Trip is when a enemy is moving. Sorry, I never specified that.
Makes a moving target here. I'll do that for you.
Yeah, it makes a moving target trip.
There we go. Okay. Alright. That'd be useful for this thing.
As this thing again strikes the ground as an attempt to make you scared, it strikes twice in front of it as an attempt of intimidation.
And so I look at this thing and stand on my hind legs.
As you stand on your hind legs, it responds, and you both at the same time shriek and growl at each other as you guys can both feel your bloodlust slowly rising as your killer instincts activate, and there is no running for either of you. It's either you kill this thing or it kills you, vice versa.
Alright.
Your hunter's instincts has completely taken over.
Trying to think of all that I can do.
As it's standing on its hind legs, it is almost as tall as you, just slightly shorter.
Alright.
Due to your rather high roll, you do hear footsteps behind you.
As I totally back away from the thing and put myself at an angle where I can see this thing and whatever's behind me.
Okay, so as you hear the footsteps behind you, you can see that it is a warper standing behind you. It is not aggressive towards you, though. As you move, this thing is going to jump at you as the warper rushes through, and due to your lack of vision on this thing, on the warper, at the same time as the lack of vision on this one, it teleports behind the striker, and I think it's called a striker. Splitter, sorry, and it grabs the thing by the tail and then pulls it back as it rushes over towards one of the trees. It gets about that far before you can act again.
As I would like to see what this thing looks like, this warper.
Warper looks like this. Warpers are typically extremely fast.
What can I do to intimidate this thing?
What'd you say?
What can I roll for intimidation? Is that possible?
Yeah, you can do a charisma roll. How are you going to intimidate? Which one are you going to be? Actually, you can't do charisma.
That would be more of an
Mind.
intelligence roll.
That would be mind. So,
Alright.
which one are you going to intimidate? The splitter or the warper that just helped you out?
Splitter.
Is you're going to use a d20 plus d10. As it is going to counter roll you. So 27, 22. Okay, so as it does get slightly intimidated and then backs up just a little bit, while again striking its tail as the warper disappears.
Can I roll for intimidation again?
As, no, it is this thing's turn. As it does jump in the air and it's going to sling its tail around in circles. Let's see. Ooh, okay. As 3 shards of bone are going to come out and slash, you do have a small opportunity to dodge.
And I would like to do as such and dodge. My dexterity is 5.
Your dex is 5. Okay, d20 plus d10. 13. Okay, so you do manage to dodge this one, but you get scraped in the arm by this one. These both. Oh my gosh, what the is this? Sorry. Both of these bones, all of them land on the ground. In the ground, sorry.
Can I tell if they have any type of poison on them at all?
No, they do not have any poison.
As I pick 2 of them up.
How do you want to pick 2 of them up? Like
back away while keeping my face towards this thing, and in between those 2, I just want to bend down and pick them up extremely fast.
Okay, your character, you actually do have the intelligence to understand concepts like that, which is actually pretty cool. But you don't understand. You don't have the wisdom to understand how to use these things.
Okay. Yeah, I still want to pick it up.
Okay, sure. You pick up these things, and they fit almost perfectly in your hands.
And I throw it at this thing.
Your accuracy? Plus 4.
That would be 4.
So that's just natural then. So that's d20 plus 4. 7. You do not. Oh wait, you're throwing 2. One of them is going to possibly land. Whoops, nope, there's no bonus on its dex. No, they both miss.
Are you kidding me?
As the splitter starts, whips its tail twice, yet again, as it does start jumping just a little bit, and it is going to bum rush a tree. As it starts rushing over towards this tree right here. Sorry, it gets about that far before you can react. It doesn't get far.
Can I tell if I tap? Oh, trip to trip. I want to use trip to trip. D20 plus D20 plus 2. Davin?
Sorry, I'm back. My grandma just barged into my room. What's up?
I want to use trip to trip as it's moving.
As you use trip to trip, that is d20 plus d20 plus d2, so 27 required in order to activate. Ooh, okay. So as you just barely use trip to trip, the ability does activate, but it does not completely trip this thing over. As this thing trips over on one foot, you do have an opening for another ability. It's not the required to activate it because the ability is going to activate no matter what. It's whether or not you actually hit it.
Oh.
It doesn't make sense for an ability not to activate just because of a roll. It makes sense for it to hit, or to be accurate enough or work well enough. In this case, trip to trip is just going to make you trip over just a little bit or none at all.
While I was doing this, I very quickly rush over to that other bone fragment that for some reason you deleted. And I pick it up and proceed to throw it at the thing.
Okay. Due to its distance, all you need to do is get higher than a 15.
Oh, really? Yes. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you throw this thing, the bone shard, where do you want to throw it?
Directly at its heart.
It is turned around from you.
You said it was brittle, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to throw it at its back, but make it so specifically that it goes through one of the ribs.
You're going to have to get a near perfect roll for your accuracy.
Okay, let me see the image.
Your accuracy, due to your desired specificity, you're gonna have to get a near perfect roll for that to work.
Okay, well, how about this? I throw it at the base of his tail, hopefully severing the tail.
Like right here?
Yeah, at the very base where it connects. Because it is a soft spot there.
Okay, so again, you're gonna have to get a near perfect roll because of how accurate you have to be with that.
Yeah.
Okay. As you throw it, you actually hit it in its in the ends of its tail, where it clatters, it sticks in between this bone right here, and its tail stops being able to move. So this thing gets all wonky in its movement. As you can pick up that this thing needs its tail in order to be able to direct itself and move.
Ah, I see.
Like a kangaroo.
As it's trying to move, I use trip to trip.
I remember you're required.
Yeah, I remember suit is required.
As due to the advantage that you have on this thing, it does fall over almost all the way, but it catches itself, and it is continuing to run at the tree. The bone shard does fall out of its tail as it dashes forward. You have one more action before it rushes over to the tree. You've been sitting still this entire time.
The only real action I can do is trip to trip.
You want to try and use trip to trip?
One more time.
As it does not, it activates, but it does not work on this thing. As you can hear just a pop up, you hear just like a come up from behind you.
Is it the warper?
It is the warper. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna turn around and look at it.
As you're turning around, you can see it run by your vision and it starts rushing after this thing.
And I turn around again to see what it's doing.
Before you even turn around, you can hear it teleport due to your lack of vision. Due to the lack of vision on this thing, it teleports behind the splitter, and it completely just grabs its tail. And then yanks it by the tail. It tries to pull off the tail, but it just yanks it and then pulls it back away from the tree.
As I rush over there, very quickly.
As you start rushing over, what would you like to do? You can see that the warper is trying to help you, or trying to help kill this splitter.
As I grab onto its tail with the warper.
As you rush over to grab onto its tail, the splitter whips its tail one more time, and it strikes you right in the leg as your leg almost comes off as it splits.
Wouldn't that be a Constitution roll?
Yeah.
I have a 9 Constitution.
Well, let's see how much you resist this. Get higher than a 30. No. As it splits into your leg, due to your constitution, it doesn't hurt like too much to where you're gonna pass out, but it hurts enough to where you can realize the pain as it splits. Your leg splits, but it does not come off all the way.
As I let out a loud shriek and grab onto this thing's tail and kind of just signal through body language or whatever I can to pull as hard as it can.
As this is the warper's role, it's not going to be enough to rip off the tail by itself, but with your strength, it just might. All you need to do is get higher than an 18 in order for it to work, okay?
Alright.
Boom! Okay, as you tear off the splitter's tail, it is completely made of bone, as the splitter just completely shrieks and then lies down on its stomach in an attempt to save its own heart.
As I walk over to its antlers and grab it by its antlers.
Oh gosh, as you walk over to its antlers and then grab it by the antlers, you can see its hand, its right arm is going to come up and try and slash at yours.
As I quickly back up.
Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Your dex 27. That was the original roll. 10. Okay, no, as you back up, as you go to back up, this thing slashes your hand and almost cuts off your pinky. It is hanging on by a thread at the moment. Almost cuts off your pinky and your ring finger. Your pinky's hanging on by a thread. Your ring finger has been completely cut through. Not all the way off, but just, like stabbing through your skin or something. As you manage to back up, there is blood all over the place on the ground.
And
Whoops.
this thing's on its back, right?
It is on its stomach. It tried to slash at you, your hand when you grabbed its antlers. So you didn't actually
Let me see the thing's arms. Let me see the thing's arms.
You didn't actually manage to grab its antlers because you backed off at the moment it slashed at you.
Can it reach? It shouldn't be able to reach on its... Would that be able to reach on its back at all?
Maybe.
I want to jump up into the air as high as I can.
You're not going to be able to jump high.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's usually warpers that can jump high. And jumpers.
What should I do with this thing? As I take its tail out of my leg.
The tail out of your leg? Oh, it's not in your leg. It almost cut your leg off, and then it went back.
Oh, so where's its tail at right now?
Yeah, but you guys yanked it off, so it doesn't have its tail on.
Where's it at? Where's the tail?
The tail is like, just over here.
You're on layer 2, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I want to run over there and grab its tail.
As you run over and grab its tail, you can see that the warper runs away again, and the splitter gets up and tries to start running, but it is falling all over the place.
As I grab its tail and quickly rush over there and slash its upper body in half, and make sure the tail goes through and cuts its part in half.
Alright, one moment. So that's going to be your dex versus your strength. So dex versus strength is your natural. So your natural dominant is for this. In this case, it would be your strength. So that's going to be 6 versus 5. So your 6 versus 5. That's d20 plus 10 minus 6. All right. So you technically got
That's a
natural.
20.
Yeah, you technically got a 20. As you slash through this thing, it almost reaches its heart. As this thing falls down, it is almost dead. You didn't get its heart though.
Tail. Let me show me. So as this thing is inside of it, I want to rip it out.
As you want to rip the tail out?
Correct.
How are you gonna go about doing that?
As I'm grabbing onto it. Actually, wait. I want to quickly run over to the other side of its body, out of its arm's reach, and just pull the tail so it goes through its heart.
So you want to run over to, like, this side?
Yeah, this side, where it's about to reach the heart, the opposite side of that, and then there's pull.
Oh, okay, so as you rush over to the opposite side of where its heart is, it is coiling around this thing, almost like a whip or a lasso, as you, how do you want to do it?
So I can, I know what I want to do. Yeah, I want to do what I said, but I want to run around it so specifically that I'm out of arm's reach for this thing.
Okay, so, yeah, no, I get that. So, whip, okay, as you whip this, tail, the entire tail uncoils, and so does the thing as its top half spins around in a 180, but its bottom half stays completely still, as its bottom half falls down on the ground, and its top half falls on the opposite side as well. As you did split this thing completely in half, its heart is destroyed.
As I look and see if it's dead.
It is dead.
And I'm positive of that.
Yes.
Alright, time to loot this thing. Let me see its image.
Good luck looting.
I know what I want to take. I have a very... You see all those shards that are hanging off of its antlers?
Why would you want to take those?
To show... yeah, I want to hang those on my antlers to show that I killed this thing.
Okay. Okay.
It's a fear tactic.
No, not in the slightest.
Uh-huh. Any other splitters that come around? Yeah. I killed a splitter.
Splitter.
To be fair, I had help from a warper, but...
As you...
Let me see this thing.
Oh my god.
One more time. I'm ripping off its antlers.
Why?
Cause
As you walk
there's
over...
a trophy.
Where the fuck are you gonna put it? Okay, as you walk over and you tear off its antlers.
I'm gonna hang them on trees so everything that goes into my territory knows they're gonna get the bad.
Okay, you tear off its antlers. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how you're looting as a creature. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm gonna sharpen these things and turn them into weapons. I actually already have a tail whip. Yeah, I want to hold that on. That will be a good weapon. If they're so sharp that they can cut through almost everything perfectly.
No, they can only cut through people.
Yeah, people. That would be useful.
And they can cut down trees.
That would also be useful.
Or cut through them, sorry.
Yeah.
There you go. You're holding a splitter, antlers and tail.
As I walk over to the marks left by the splitter.
Okay. My bad.
And I cover them with dirt.
You want to cover the marks with dirt?
Correct.
Okie dokie. As you do cover up the marks.
It's right your territory. It's mine. And I place the antlers on that patch of dirt.
As you place the antlers, you almost immediately forget where you get them from.
Oh.
Because your
Really?
wisdom.
I should probably get my wisdom up. Well, I should negative tail so So if I take
Oh
all
no,
my
that's
points
not
from my
right.
soul
Your
with...
wisdom shouldn't have any disadvantage. Sorry.
Oh. So I know where I got them from, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna... It's the first 3 sessions that I get to change my points, correct?
Yeah, you can move them around.
Okay, so I'm gonna remove all of the points from my soul.
Please do that after session.
Negative... Oh, after that? I can do it right now if you want.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I can just do it really quickly.
Okay. Oh man, wendigos are, this is gonna be a very difficult, session. Right, your dominance level's supposed to go up again. Dominance level 2. That's actually not terrible. It means that lower creatures aren't probably gonna mess with you that much.
Perfect. As I walk east. And I check on the gash that was in my leg.
You check on the what?
The gash.
Oh, the gash in your leg is still there. It's actually, starting to get to you just a little bit.
As I sit down.
How do you want to sit?
You see in my picture?
Yeah.
I want to sit like that.
As you sit like that, you proceed to spread open the cut in your leg as blood starts trickling out.
As I immediately stop.
Okay.
Can I roll for intuition to see how I can stop this?
That would not be intuition. That would be intelligence and wisdom.
Intelligence, and my intelligence is 6 plus 2, 6 plus 1, so 7.
That would be your natural intelligence versus your wisdom. So 6 minus 4. 4 roll. Okay. Okay, so your intelligence tells you that the way to stop this is by consuming food. What type of food, you are not aware, but you can stop this by eating.
Let's see, Curse of the Wendigo. If a human is not consumed, so I have to eat a human.
I wish you were a newer player so I can give you a DM tip. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do it anyways. Remember what wendigos are. There's ways to bend that rule and get around it.
Those are cannibals. They're cannibals. And I'm a species of a wendigo, and that's a wendigo over there. So I'm cannibalizing a wendigo. Would that be accurate?
What?
Would that be accurate?
Would what
Wendigos
be
are
accurate?
cannibals,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a wendigo.
Yeah.
And that other thing is a wendigo.
Correct.
So if I eat another wendigo, I'm technically a cannibal. I'm cannibalizing.
Your intuition actually tells you that it is a good idea to eat the wendigo.
Oh, okay, yeah. As I
Due to the fact
over to the
that
wendigo.
wendigos are also humans.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes. Okay, yeah. I walk over to the wendigo.
Your intuition also tells you that this wendigo is not going to provide a whole lot of sustenance. Also, I want to ask you a question. And how do you feel about the way I'm hosting us now?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay. Perfect. I'm glad. Mother
I
fire
like
truck.
intuition.
Huh?
We can get so much information now. I love intuition.
Yeah, players that have an override intuition stat, they get so much. I get to basically just tell them anything. I really wonder if a player's gonna go for an override stat. Okay, so...
That's where you override the limit, right? The limit's 10, but you can get above that.
No, the limit stats is actually 20, which once you override, you have to have all the other stats lower than 5 or 5. 5 or below. And it will actually scale the dices on an override stat. Your dices stop scaling at 15, but with an override, they'll scale at 20 and past.
Ain't that neat? Yeah, I walk over to the wendigo.
Alright, cool.
That I have just killed.
As you walk over to the wendigo, I'm assuming you want to eat it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see. How much can your character eat? You are 236 pounds and 12.12? Dang! Okay, hold on.
I can eat a lot. Every time a wendigo eats, they double in size. That way their hunger will never be satisfied.
Okay, I'm getting a calorie calculator right now.
Calorie?
Mm-hmm. Because your character is going to have a specific calorie intake. It just makes the game a lot more interesting. 12-9... 236 pounds. Okay. What's your character's body fat?
Like what percentage?
Yeah.
11.
Does your character... Do you want to gain or lose weight?
I want to gain weight.
Your body fat percentage is what?
11.
11%. So you need to eat... you need to eat 3,712... Oh, wait, No, I need a proper fucking... Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Yeah, you need a lot of calories. So, as you start eating the actual thing, you can feel yourself rejuvenating as your leg grows, and behind you, you hear a sound.
As I look behind me, hopefully to see the warper. Why are you playing music?
as you do see the warper.
Yes! As I offer him some of the wendigo.
As you offer him some of the wendigo, you see that he is not taking it in any way. He's not accepting. What's your intuition?
What's my what?
Intuition.
Intuition 8.
Right. You can tell that something's different, but not quite. You can't really tell if it's good or bad. It's something's different. You know, something's weird.
As I stop eating and slowly back up.
As you can tell that this thing is hostile and was just manipulating you into getting more food. As you back up, you do trip over the body that you were eating as the warper goes out of your vision and disappears.
As I roll for perception.
You cannot force a perception roll.
What?
You can't force a perception roll.
Okay, well, I want to see if I can see where this thing's at.
It's disappeared. It's gone.
As I quickly stand back up.
As you stand back up, what, on your hind legs? Right, because you're carrying, ooh.
Yeah.
No, you're not holding, the splitter antlers anymore.
Thing's smarter than I thought.
I wonder if this works. Cool.
It's haunting me.
You heard the sound?
Yeah. As I ready the bone whip.
As you hear the shriek happen over and over again, just constantly. It is just. What does your intelligence tell you?
My intelligence is a 7.
Your intelligence is a 7. 14. Okay. Okay, you can tell that this thing is trying to lure other wendigos towards you.
Oh, crap.
It is trying to get
Crap.
it is trying to get you killed so it can feed off of you or the bodies that you make.
Learning curve. You learn something about this thing. Learning curve.
You want to learn something about it?
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing to learn about it because you cannot see it, but there is something that you realize now due to your perception.
What do I realize?
It is turning daytime.
I want a disappearance in my pocket dimension.
You have to run over to a tree to do that. Do you remember which tree you came from?
Didn't show me.
I did. It was the direction that you came from.
Oh, I came from north, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you came from north.
Okay. Let me see the trees up north. Assuming it's that big one. Can I use my intelligence to remember what tree I came from?
Yes, you can. Actually, that would be your wisdom. So, your natural wisdom, okay, right, you don't have any advantages. 4. Cool. You remember that it's this tree right here.
Let's like cautiously walk towards that tree. With the bone whip ready.
Right, you want to walk towards the tree with the bone whip?
Mm-hmm.
As you do see the tree split open, it like almost like bones split. Like a rib cage comes out and grabs the tree and opens it, and you can see this strange dimension. What do you want to do?
I quickly jump in.
As you jump in, that will be the end of the session.
Wait, what?